What's going on, everybody? Back at it again with another episode of the Young and the Rowdies. And guess what? Football season is almost over, and basketball season is really starting to uptick. It's a lot been going on, and this is my most exciting time of the year. We're getting close to conference play, as well as bowl games, playoffs, all that good stuff, and to get fully immersed into basketball season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here to episode 14. This is our second time guest that is a current athlete on the show. The first time we had him on was back in November 24th of last year. So it's a little bit over a year. It is a great honor. I love this young man with all my heart. Had an opportunity to be at his wedding. I've said this on the show before. He wears the same number I wore, and I couldn't be more proud of him wearing my number and just the man he is and the player that he is, how he is started this year off on such a great foot and just been able to be that leader, that calm, quiet, still persevering rock that he is. And I can't wait to hear what's been going on in his life. And I'm not going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger anymore. Let me introduce to you guys again on the Young and the Rowdies, episode number 14 here, none other than the Florida Gators' own Anthony Duruji. What's happening, Ant? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Thank you for the introduction. I love you, and I'm glad to be here again.
Man, I could have went on. I could have went on and on and on talking about how much how much of a bromance I got on my boy. And especially just seeing you out there, just coming into this year, just really after challenging, not in the sense of performance, but challenging in the sense of how weird and different things were last year, but just seeing you get a chance to have a full, mostly normal season has been pretty cool. But what's new, man? What's going on? It's an off day today, right?
Yeah, it's an off day, so got to take care of my body. Got some treatment today, and met one of another mentors of mine. But today, just resting and trying to get geared up, get ready to get better tomorrow. We play on Sunday, I believe, at the Barclays Center versus Maryland. So that'll be a big game.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is on a rest day like today? Obviously, you guys just played yesterday. I think this episode is going to come out next week, so that game is already going to have happened. But it typically, what does a rest day for you look like? And I'm sure it looks different now that you're married versus did before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so a rest day typically looks like me going in and getting treatment. I always love to take care of my body. I'm 23 years old. I'm getting a little bit older, and it's not like I'm a freshman anymore. So I've added a lot of weight and muscle, so I got to take care of my body. And then really spending time with my wife, spending time in prayer, relaxing, resting, which is big. Sometimes get caught up in the routine, but a lot of times rest is the best thing for you. And I think that's what I'm noticing now.
What's like that one thing that's non-basketball, non-physical that you just feel like, because I wholeheartedly agree, and just having a day where you disconnect from the routine and just rest your body. Like I'll just sit there and watch some games, watch some football. Watch some I usually choose Sunday. I do some preparing. I'll do like a little bit of meal prep stuff. But I like to cook, so I don't really see that as a lot of work. But like the most rest, I'm just chilling on the couch. If I'm with my fiance, I don't know if I told you that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Bro, it was crazy, man. It's like so weird saying, I'm sure for you, like, you're like, dang, you're my fiance. Like, we're gonna get married. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird, but
big time.
I couldn't be happier. She's amazing. She's incredible, and it's just a blessing that she would allow me to, not only be her partner, but also to be the role model, father figure for her daughter. I think it's really weird to me that some men sometimes see that as like off-putting, but I think for a woman to entrust you to not only be her partner, but to like, hey, I want you to be the raiser of my kids. Like, I think that's the ultimate, a really awesome opportunity and blessing. So
that's big time.
Dude, yeah. I just wish it could like we could be there like that, but we gotta plan all the wedding and all that stuff, man. Like I want to do a wedding like yours, bro. Honestly,
I know, like just small, peaceful, and everything.
Oh, but that was fun. But yeah, what's that thing, that stuff you like to do when you just the one thing when you just want to rest?
Yeah, I think the one thing I do when I want to rest is watch. Me and my wife Lauren, we like Netflix series, certain type of documentaries that are very stimulating to the mind, psychology. And I like to write poems. I think I talked about that when I first came on the podcast. And I also like to listen to music and riding my bike. I mean, I guess that's an activity, but it's relaxing for me when I'm just riding. I'm just listening to music and I'm not thinking about anything else.
What do I was reading Psalm 27 the other day. Just like I have like a book that's just the Psalms, and sometimes I'll just open it up and I'm trying to go through all of them, just read. Sometimes I read in the morning and read at night. And I just love that King David, he's talking about, what he desires more than anything. It's like and it's not that things aren't good. Right. He's like, I desire nothing more than just to rest in the presence of God. The rest in his course. And I'm just like, dang, what to get to that level? Like he could say, I could desire more fame, notoriety, wealth, status, all these things for my enemies to stop trying, because you already know how crazy it was at that time. But I just like want to get to that point because I'm sure like when you're on your bike, there's a time where you're just meditating and thinking. I mean, knowing you, just like the blessings and how good your life's been in perspective of our Creator. So that's got to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so crazy and it's timely that you talk about this rest, because I was just meeting with Joel, our guy, and we were talking about that. We were talking about rest, and we were going through Psalms 46, where it talks about that the Lord God is our refuge. And it's our strength, and he's our trouble. And I think that's big because he's always like present. So it's always those times when we talk about rest, I want to connect with that. And I want to get in that presence, where I really have no worries when I'm kind of, close to God in that time. And I think, older and being able to reflect, and with the season, there's a lot that comes with it. But being able to see that I can't really do it alone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that I have a lot of demands, but I have limited supplies because I'm only human.
Yeah.
But God has those supplies because he's limitless. And that's what I've been learning right now in this season.
Yeah, I love that. Like we serve the God of the impossible. Impossible. Like he can't get tired, nothing he can't do, and in that there's rest and knowing like, hey, I'm good. Like, and obviously that's something that can take a time to get to that that acceptance, that alignment, that revelation, because especially as athletes. I think when you can say someone that's an athlete or someone that's in sales, if anyone that's in sales that's listening to this, or any type of performance-based job where your value is only based on your performance, and like it's actually kind of like you feel bad for taking a rest because like, dang, if I ain't resting, I ain't moving, and it's like right. That's counter. Tough, it's tough, right? It's tough, right? So like, how are you, especially being an athlete, wanting to perform, wanting to do well, like there's nothing wrong with those things. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be your best and wanting to, but how did you balance out, knowing you don't have to, you're going to present yourself and work hard, but like you don't have to know it all and do it all for, because there's so much you can't control anyway. And then thinking about your value and your faith, like you don't got to work that hard. Like
right. Exactly. I think there is a balance for sure. I think being able to sit and reflect, I want to see, like, am I really leaning on God? Am I trusting in him, or am I trying to, work, and then making it seem like that's my stability? And I think that's when, as an athlete, we kind of go wrong. Like you said, everything is so contingent on our performance. But, me being a believer and having my faith in Christ, I have seen that I've already won. So there's nothing I really have to work for. So now I could go out and play out of that freedom, knowing that, God sees me. He sees me when I'm at my lowest points. He sees me when, I'm tired, my body is banged up, or I'm worried, or, I'm trying to be a leader, but he's just saying, be still, like, know that I'm God, and he's going to take care of everything. So I think really being able to sit back and reflect, and that's when I kind of find that balance, because I can see when I'm, relying too much on myself and my performance, and that can kind of get me even more exhausted and tired. And then I can't give as much, but when I'm planted and I'm just taking every day by day, being present with God and aligning that, then I could, through that, I could give, because God is.
And man, that's so good, because we have, Lord willing, we have time. We always have time. But energy, we don't have an unlimited amount of energy. And when we're operating out of this mindset of not to say like I have nothing to lose, or say like I have nothing to gain, but just being content, and just like, hey, I'm doing my best. I'm showing up. Like there's so much strength in that, and knowing like, hey, no matter what happens on the result on this court or whatever, can I look in the mirror and say I gave it my best? Like but without sacrificing, because like I was thinking about it the other day, man. I was thinking about like the grand scheme of life. Like, okay, day to day, there's so many things that we do. Like how much of this stuff is really going to matter? I'm like, and I love the opportunities and the things that I get allowed to do sometimes. And sometimes, I'm not always as grateful, but I'm just like, how much of this stuff, like, am I going to miss the present, like being with my family, like the relationship with my friends, actually just like the simple things of life? Am I going to miss them because I'm so focused on results with these meetings and and trying to impress people that only care about what I can do, focusing on the fans or living for money? Because there's billionaires and millionaires that don't have relationships with like real relationships, and they're prideful. And I'm like, I'd rather be kind of lowly and simple and humble. And, because I feel like a humble heart, you talk about coaching, you're more coachable. People are more likely, you're more likely to learn from other people when you're humble. Doors are more likely to be open for you. People are going to be more patient with you when you're like, I don't want people to mix pride and confidence. Because confidence is like, I've put the work in. I feel comfortable that I can do the job. Pride is like, I don't need any help from nobody else. Nobody can tell me nothing. I'm gonna do it my way. My way is the only way. I'm like, those are the type of people that will burn a bridge, burn your bridges, and nobody wants to reach back and help you. And that's true. Really, really unfortunate. When I think that there's more good people that want to love on and help people in this world, but like that kind of hardens people's hearts towards being more giving and loving. But speaking of your guys' team right now, you guys, I feel as though everyone on that team, on your team, is pretty humble and just hardworking and wants to win. And I know that's been your experience from everything that I've heard with you guys so far.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's crazy because I thought about my team when you just mentioned, the humble and pride and confidence is very big. I think right now, most of our team is built up of transfers, people who probably haven't won from where they came from, don't have a culture of winning, or if they did win, they weren't a big part of that team. And we're just accumulation of all of those stories. And now we're here at Florida and we get to represent the Gators, which is very big and so historical, as you know, and you were a part of that culture, that history. And we're trying to do something special. And I think we need to be humble. We need to remain humble because none of us were really ever given anything.
Yeah.
We all had to work in a sense, or we weren't the top recruit, or we weren't the guy, like had all the fame or whatever, so to speak. But I believe this coaching staff, they've been through it, and they know more than us, but they're still learning themselves.
Yeah, right. True.
That's what I appreciate about this coaching staff. That it's probably like very humble, like group of guys, and leaders. And I tell my team always, like, we have to be humble, because like if we're humble, then we can receive that help. The coaches are here to help us, and we have to trust in them. We have to trust that they have the blueprint, so to speak, because they've had people before them. And I think if we can remain humble, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. I mean, these coaches, they start, like, a lot of people look at the amount of money sometimes that, like, head coaches, man, I mean, you really look at football coaches, like, they had to pay so much dues to get there. Like, the coaches, the amount of film, like, they sacrifice, I want to give credit to all the coaches around the country that if any of them hear this, or, people listening passes on, hats off to you guys so much for the sacrifice that you guys get to make. And obviously they're doing it because they want to help the kids, and become all that they can be. They want to win. Of course, they want to help their families, but the recruiting that they have to do, like, they have to, the recruiting, the scouting, the damage control, the off-season stuff, it's nonstop. And I'm so glad that the NCAA implemented rules, which is something rare that I would say that they implemented rules, but the rules kind of force coaches to take a break, to take a rest, and really have more time with their families. Because I remember Coach Donovan, he was, before recruiting rules changed, he was on the road like 250, or like just away 200 and something plus days out of the year, bro. Like,
what?
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, man, I don't think coaching for me. Like, mentoring, like maybe some camps here and there, something like that. But nah, I want to have my family and like be there and stuff. That's
hats off to coaches, man, and coaches' wives as well too.
Yeah, coaches' wives too, holding the fort down for the kids and whatnot. So coming into this year, what was your mindset at the end of? I'll go back a little bit. What was can you take yourself back to the end of last season, and kind of going up forth to this season, like what you went through, what you worked on, what every part that's significant that you like to share coming up into this season.
Yeah. So I remember last year, disappointing loss to Oral Roberts, but hats off to them. They ended up going to the Sweet 16. They're a really good team, but I think during the summer, really had plans of engagement. So I had got engaged to my wife, and then long story short, later in the beginning of the school year, right before in August, we had got married. But, throughout that time, I seen that I graduated, and, I was going to enter my master's. I made the decision that I was going to come back here for another year, for my 4th year. And I wanted to continue to pursue my education. So I was blessed to be pursuing my entrepreneurship master's degree right now. So thankful for the Hawkins Center and people in that community who have helped me and pretty much
Shout them out.
shaped. Yeah.
Give them a shout out, please.
Jeff, Allison, Tom, Chris, all you guys. Thank you. Miss Brenda, man, everyone in the Hawkins Center. Yes, she's a very beautiful and sweet woman. Tony, helping me with some ideas with the foundation. You are a big role model for me and someone I just look up to. It's very big and it's a blessing just to be here. But even wearing your number, it's I feel like it's kind of divine a little bit. Hey. But Patrick, yes, sir. But yes, I just went through a process of kind of graduating and getting older. So I knew coming back, I was really focused on how I would lead, how I would be stretched, taking on more responsibility, just being a married man, became more disciplined, I would say, and worked on, becoming a better shooter and just becoming a better player, becoming a better student of the game, most importantly, and just wanted to be like the best teammate, wanted to be unselfish, wanted to have the best attitude, and wanted to, be in a gym, always shooting, making a routine that, I'm going to be a hard worker and I could lead by example by that. And that's kind of been my mindset is really, I want to experience something great. And I'm here at Florida and I want to take advantage of any opportunity. And that's really been, how us as a team, we have created this identity. And from the jump, we've been competing with each other. And I like this group of guys. And I think we're going to do, something special in the postseason, Lord willing. And that's really been my mindset to just get better, to grow up, to lead, and to learn.
Man, you said so many things. I want to first thank you, and I'm saying thank you. Make sure to get this podcast out to those people over at the UAA. But yeah, thank you so much, bro. And honestly, for me, and I hope I speak for everyone else that you mentioned, your intentionality of wanting to get better helps us want to continue to get better. Helps us want to continue to realize like this is why we do what we do. This is why. For them, like this is why they work with student athletes because they want to, and I've spoken to Allison before. He's like, I wish we could have 20 Anthony Durujis before, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? I wish we would have had one when I was playing as well. That would have been awesome. But to your point, making goals based on identity are so much. If you ever read the book Atomic Habits. The author James Clear talks about you make identity-based goals or identity-based objectives versus only goal-based. Like if your goal is like, I'm just going to shoot 10 shots, like I'm just going to shoot 100 shots at the end of every practice. Cool. That's great. That's awesome. But like, tell yourself I'm a shooter. Tell yourself I am. And what would a shooter do? Like what or whatever the thing is that you want to be, you make that thing now a part of your identity. You make that part of who you are. Like, and in that case, you'll start thinking, what would that person do? What would a healthy person do right now? What would they eat pizza or would they, whatever that thing may be. But, I really just love how just in seeing the beginning, the start of the beginning of the season and just hearing from a few guys within that the group is really just bought in on winning, bought in on sacrifice, bought in on doing the greater good for the team. And I think that can be hard sometimes, especially new coaches, so many new players, how are you guys able, and how is Coach White able to, from the beginning, instill that in you guys, just of that togetherness and competing and, not worrying about, of course, individual accolades are great, but at the end of the day, it's so much better to do something and achieve something great as a team.
Yeah. I think, Coach White is a great leader. And I think it's something that he's always preached since I've been here and with this team. What is the Gator standard? And you talk a little bit about identity, but we have a standard as a team. And our our daily goal is always to grow. We want to get better. And so we hold ourselves to that standard. It doesn't really matter about necessarily the wins. Yeah, we want to win, but did we get better at what, we want to do and what we've been training to do? And as a team goal and as a season goal, we want to max out as a team. And I think Coach White has instilled that vision for us as a team, and us having an older group, I think we kind of understand it a little more. So it's a little bit easier to buy in. Granted, sometimes it might not be as easy to buy in because I think you have to fight each and every day. Culture is fought every day. Yeah.
Bro, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, we had a bad loss, and we didn't max out. We didn't grow that day. And
Before we move on, let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with Bet Rivers yet, now is the time because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one play through to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pay Instant Approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah.
It's
tough, bro. I think I don't know if I'm dead on, but I just recognize like people don't understand what it takes to be great sometimes. And greatness is like understanding nothing deters you from giving that approach, that mindset that every day is a fight. Every day is a fight. And that meaning that like no matter what happens, how are we going to handle, because some people are always focused on how do we handle failure? How do you handle, no, how do you handle success? When things start going good, start getting ranked, this and that happen, like whatever.
That's harder.
Bro, that is stuff that can easily get a person from focus on the target, start going a little bit here, one guy going here, one guy, and it's like before you know it, the focus, the foundation is just a little bit shook there. And I love that it happens early in the season though, because who wins the championship in December? Nobody.
Right.
This is the opportunity. It's an opportunity, obviously, to look in the mirror and learn from it. How can we catch that thinking and nip it in the bud?
Right, exactly. And shout out to Duke Warner, our trainer, because he was the one who told me it's a fight every day. And I think you said something there when we talked about success. How do you handle success? I think it's harder because there's success, but then there's things that come with success. And if we're not mature enough to handle it, then we're just going to be brought down. And like you said, the foundation is going to be shook. And, we've been tested early here in the season, and we faced some adversity. Yesterday we had a good win. I feel like we got our identity back.
28 turnovers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, defense. Defense. We shot the ball. We didn't even shoot the ball that well. But
if you force anybody to 28 turnovers, you ain't gonna lose.
Exactly.
You're not gonna lose.
Exactly.
Unless you have 29.
Right, exactly. So, but I think coach did a good job, which is getting us to refocus, and leading in that way. kind of getting back to who we are. And it's all part of the journey though with the season.
Yeah.
So we're learning as a group.
It's literally brick by brick by brick by brick every single day. And you got to have a strong why. The team's got to have a strong why with the end in sight. You stay the journey of the course. It's one step, but the end's in mind. Like we're thinking championship, we're thinking Final Four, we're thinking top three finish, top two finish. I mean, you always gonna think championship at the end, but because sometimes, what I listened to Kobe on a podcast one day, and he said it so well. A thing he promised to himself that he would never negotiate with himself. And what I mean by that is if he set goals and maybe one day he just wasn't feeling it or something was bothering him, he would not allow himself to talk himself out of the work, out of the process, out of relaxing, out of whatever human nature was. He wanted to push into that discomfort. And it's hard, man. Like a lot of people don't want to stick in that discomfort area or get content. But, that this basketball window is so short. And, I want to, encourage you and all the guys and everyone in life, like to strive just to maximize what you can, and I don't really believe in luck, but I look at the Ohio State game. You guys were down. Yeah. But the way that you guys fought together in that game, the way that you forced, you sped Ohio State up, you didn't give them because they were still scoring, but they weren't scoring like nothing was easy. And they started fouling. They were fouling too much because they were getting sped up. They were trying to do the same thing. You're forcing steals. You're doing all this thing, piece by piece, climbing back. And I ain't gonna lie. I don't think Ty. I love my boy Ty. I don't know if it was the best shot, but hey, that thing was cash. Bro, what were you thinking when he shot that? It was like 3 seconds left.
If you actually look at the video, you will see me on the left wing. I put the 3 signal because I knew he was gonna make it. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like it's a tournament. The momentum, everything. It's like, man, it's only right. I felt like I was in a movie.
The game was like honestly, it was primed for a buzzer beater.
Yeah,
for a shot like that, for something, it was prime. I like the way you fought back, the way that the freak throws foul out, playing defense, missing shots, limiting them to no, they weren't getting any offensive rebounds. You're getting back on the court.
Right.
I was like, all right, we right there. And then like, bro, I was on my my little beanbag chair in my in my apartment watching the game. I was chilling. I'm like, out of a 1 out of 10, I'm just chilling, watching the game, just chilling. We coming back. All right, cool. As soon, I'm not getting hype or nothing. I'm just chilling. Like I'm on a 1 out of 10. As soon as Ty hit that shot, bro, I was on a 15. I was jumping around my house, screaming. My neighbors probably hate me downstairs for real. That was super exciting.
Thanks.
Bro, that was.
Yes, man.
You think that moment, not the moment, because you have to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
But did that kind of get you guys a little bit sidetracked from going? Because like you said, high point, but guess what? Go back to the ground level and fight. The next day.
Exactly.
That kind of affect you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit, because think about it, we weren't ranked coming out to begin the season. I think they preseason us like 7th in the SEC. So there wasn't really many big expectations. And coach actually said that as well before, I think in the summer. Like, he thinks his team can be really good. But people don't expect much out of us. And I think maybe because we're the group of guys we have and we're made up of guys, mid-major, graduate, not really any big name type of guys. But I think, when you kind of gain that success very early, sometimes, if you're not careful, it could be worse than better,
Yeah.
Because it's a quick, like we were coming out beating teams by like 30,
Yeah.
40, like, and then we went off a buzzer beaters, like beat Cal by 20. And it's like these big margins, you know, and then you're winning, and it's kind of human nature, right? You kind of
Yeah, it
lose
is.
edge a little bit, kind of lose a little bit of motivation, or you can feel like, oh, I've arrived, but it's too early,
It's
you
too
know,
early.
it's too early, and you want to peak at the right time. And,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think maybe a little bit, it creeped in a little bit and lost that edge for a little bit, but
Yeah. And I think
yeah.
it's all right, you know,
Mhm.
because we lost some games. We lost to JU at home.
Mhm.
We lost to
JU is at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Yeah, we lost to Jacksonville University at home my freshman year. We
Uh-huh.
lost to South Carolina at home. I think my sophomore year they had Bruce Ellington. He was playing football and
Mm.
basketball. Like that boy,
Wow.
yes. He
Dang.
cooked us. But those games, like that's another thing because it's all easy for everyone to stay together when things are going good. But like when you have to learn a hard lesson like that of like whether it's coming ready or whatever it is, like how does everybody react then? Are they pointing the finger? Are they looking at themselves? Are they striving to bring the team together? Or those things are so important. Or those moments are vital to the growth of the team when you hit a low
Yeah.
together as a collective group. Because
Yeah.
no one on the history of this world is immune to
Mm.
adversity or trials or trouble or something happening. And the way you respond, the way the meaning that you give, that especially as a group, the meaning that you're able to give to a moment can really determine the future, can determine how you're going to handle the next steps and the person or group that you guys are going to be. And I have no doubt in my
Right.
mind, because Coach White, being the guy he is and the recruiting he does, everyone that he brings to the program, good character, wholesome, just awesome guys. And not everyone's like talkative. That doesn't mean you're not a nice kind guy, but
Right.
or anything like that. But super excited for what you guys got coming up for the next part
Yeah.
of this season. After being able to face that and step up to this UNF game, and I'm glad y'all had a quick game to turn it around too. I'm glad y'all didn't have to
Yeah.
linger on. Glad y'all didn't have to linger on it for like three
I
or 4
know.
days.
I know, right? That would have been a little bad, but thankful for those opportunities. Thankful for those opportunities.
So I didn't. I'm glad I didn't tell you this, and so you wouldn't get prepared. But I want to give you an opportunity to give a little pitch about your foundation.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of felt this coming. I
You
kind of
felt it
felt this
coming?
coming. Yeah, I kind of felt this coming. Oh my goodness.
I'm
But
not gonna
yeah.
say it, however long you want, just as I told you before, it's about you. It's about
Yeah.
the vision, it's about what you're striving to do and your why. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So pretty much what I believe everyone has a purpose in life, and that purpose is tied to a problem, and it's an answer to a problem in society. I think everyone has gifts, God-given abilities, and we're supposed to use those gifts to serve others. And sometimes your purpose can be tied to pain. And for me, growing up, I didn't grow up with a father, and there was some pain over there. And long story short, me being where I am today is just a testament of God, for one, and so many mentors and people and family who have deposited so much great things in me and have encouraged me and refined my gifts that God has given me and has helped me have a vision and a purpose for my life. So now, with my three passions, which is my faith in God, my athletic ability, and my generosity and servant heart, I really took all three of those passions and wanted to really see how I could serve others. And as I was thinking, I was like, well, what better way than to serve the community and serve kids who are in the position that I once was in. And I came up with the Duruji Foundation, and it is something that I've been working on recently. I'm pursuing my entrepreneurship master's degree right now. And pretty much what we're focusing on is being able to create a legacy of faith-filled men, particularly fatherless youth, ninth through 12th grade, student athletes. And it's going to be a series of events each year. But for the first year, we want to focus on a group of 20 kids in the DMV area. And I will have an annual basketball camp. I'll have money management one-on-ones. I will have different workshops as public speaking, knowing how to market themselves, learning about name, image, and likeness, and how college athletics is changing. Just knowing how to market themselves, and pretty much what we're really focused on in the program is bringing fatherless youth who have this gift and ability in basketball, but teaching them to stretch that. Like, that's one component, and you don't have to let basketball use you. You can use the gifts that God has given you. You can use basketball, and with that, you can create more opportunities and maximize your life and potential so that you can be serving others, because that's what it's all about. I believe that's what the vision is about, is what we have as people, our gifts, and how are we going to give that and serve that to the world. So that's really what the Duruji Foundation is about, really about investing in people. And it's a nonprofit 501(c). So, we're going to be looking for donations, people who are really believe in my vision. And that's really what it's about, so. Yeah,
Man, yeah, you articulated that so well. What are some other, because I know there are some other components to it that we talked about, as far as like the suits,
yeah.
and something that you want to do there. And not only that, what's the big, after you do, you go through the first year, what is the big vision for the Duruji Foundation?
Yeah, the big vision is really to create more leaders. And I believe that when you have mentorship and when you have a vision and purpose in your life, then you can experience transformation. So really, that's the vision for the Duruji Foundation, is to transform lives, is to transform men. A lot of us youth grow up without father figures, and because of that, it causes an inadequacy in identity, in self-worth. So much problems can emerge, but with the mentorship and being able to see people who have these testimonies and who actually care about them, who actually want to pour into them, that can transform a life. And I think the best form of leadership is really servant leadership. When I look at the life of Jesus, he came down from heaven, and he left his title or his authority, and he could have been, telling people to, pretty much do as I say, but he came as a servant. And I think that shows a lot, because, when you serve and when you invest in people, you create a legacy, because when you're gone, you have left an impact on people. And because of that, people can replicate that and make impacts on other people as well.
Yeah.
So, but, we want to have a custom tailored suits, school supplies, basketball shoes, of course. We want to give them virtual wallets, and with the courses that they will have learned in the program, with knowing how to manage money. We want to partner with various banks who will make those deposits and can give them money to start off with saving. Obviously, we want to offer food and drink, make sure everyone's being fed well. And we just want them to learn. I think when you have, if you have knowledge, then through knowledge you can use the knowledge you have, and you could go in life and experience that knowledge and use the wisdom, that you have accumulated from that knowledge. So I think that's all part of transformation as well, because some kids, we just don't have the answers. We don't know.
Yeah.
But if we see people who are in the position, if we see people who are in the positions that we want to be like one day, they can help us. So it's really just about serving, really.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit on some, and on top of that, there's the coaching basketball camp aspect. I mean, not on it, that's like the cherry on
Yeah,
top. That's
yeah,
the cherry on top, and there's so much more foundation and meat into the purpose behind it, because it's like
yeah.
I've been learning the other day, like we just go through things in life that affect the trajectory of our lives, and
Hmm.
statistics will show, even if like even if a father is in the home, but maybe he's not present, maybe he's not really
Yeah.
like, that still that still can help have a somewhat positive trajectory on that kid's life. But for
Hmm.
fatherless homes, for
Hmm.
where the father is absolutely never there, it, as you said, identity issues, affirmation. I just don't, not, and, hats off to every single mom, single parent out there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
weren't designed to carry the whole load. It's not that you can't. You weren't designed to have to
Right.
take it all on. How can you are meant to still live in purpose. You're meant to still pursue dreams. You're meant to still instill
Hmm.
wisdom and do things. But I get it. If you don't have anyone else to help you do that, you got to
Hmm.
fill in the gaps where you can, as best you can. And
Right.
we're not able to save everyone, obviously, or help everybody, but at least what you're doing, what your focus and vision on, is creating that mindset of being a conduit, that
Hmm.
hopefully every student athlete kid that comes through the foundation, they'll be able to use their wisdom and knowledge and
Right.
spread it on, and
Right.
continue, and it'll continue to grow and continue to grow, and you'll never know how many lives it's going to change.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, we can think of so many athletes that, I can, that just have finances but don't know how to handle them. Like,
Hmm.
it's not and even something as simple as just having a budget.
Right.
That's, and understanding, like, okay, this is how much money I have. This is how much.
Mm.
Here's how much I need to allocate towards this and that. Here's how much I should save. Like,
Mm.
and it's not super overly complicated, but everyone, you only learn something that you're taught.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's that simple. Like, you only learn,
Exactly.
or something that you seek out for. But if you don't know, you
Right.
don't know what you don't know, and
Exactly.
that's super awesome, man. I mean, you're, um, you know, what I said earlier. This getting this going out, and just what the impact you're making, man. It's just you're being the hands and feet of God, with this vision,
Amen.
and being able to just impact lives. Because I know it. I define true kindness. I look to God for it too. True kindness is like doing something for a person or for people that could never repay you back for that. Like, that's
Hmm.
taking that time. Like, you know, I don't, maybe one day, but it's no guarantee. Like, you're not seeking anything back in return. Like, you're truly just stepping
Right.
out to that service point. Um, but yeah, I guess I got you for a little bit longer, bro. So, fantastic with the Duruji Foundation. Please keep me up to date as things start and launch, and if there's any way I can help get it out for other people to know about, how they can donate or just participate or get it known.
For sure.
We're in the early 1/4 part of the season. What are we?
Yeah.
8 games in? Yeah, 8 games in right
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
What is the focus? This is a rest day, for you right now. What is the mindset focus as you're continuing on with the season? Obviously, keep fighting, but is there anything
Mhm.
else that you can think of?
Yeah, I would say continue to find a continue to seek after that edge, to stay on edge, And sometimes it's hard, you know, like we talked about earlier today. Every day is a fight. And I think that's the biggest thing with this team. We want to stay on edge and we want to stay consistent with that. So I would say continue to find more ways to be motivated, to stay on the edge, to stay humble, to not be complacent, and to just grow together and continue to get better. And if we
Yeah.
can do those things, if we can focus on those things, then we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you guys will be just fine. I think everything from the aspect of resetting, reflecting, releasing, resetting, and then restarting, and then just going forward. I think you guys definitely and the quick turnaround was huge.
Yeah.
It was really huge. Just being able to get it out, get it addressed, and just hey, this wasn't us.
Yeah.
That wasn't who we are. And now early on, because not that those games don't matter, they all matter.
Right.
But you guys can finish out this non-conference in a really, really good way going into conference play, which is, this is going to be one of the toughest leagues in the country.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, probably this year probably is the toughest.
This is a deep league. I believe we're going to see minimum, 7 teams making it into the tournament this year. I'm hoping 8, but really, really, really going to be competitive coming into SEC play, where that identity that you guys have, can never be lost. And I'm thinking of like the Georgia-Alabama football game.
Yeah.
Georgia seemed to have lost sight in that game of who they were. Everyone wants to put it on the quarterback, talking about he's been a game manager all year. He hasn't been the one. Like, their defense has been what has been, the highlight of their team. And they didn't do, I don't know all the ins and outs and P's and Q's to football. But to that point, they weren't who we have seen them to be, holding teams like 7 points, if that. Identity. Yeah. But Duruji, is there anything else that you want to leave the people before I let you go and enjoy the rest of your rest day with your wife?
I would just say, God bless everyone. I just want to give a special shout out to you, and just thankful that I can have this opportunity. I can have these conversations. I could speak on my passions, and just having these conversations. I think it really matters, and it can inspire so many people. And all in all, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to inspire others. So I just thank you for this opportunity. And it's really big. Really big.
Bro, it's I wish for me, I could have had just the confidence that you exude, and it just your faith, your confidence in who you are, it just comes out so naturally. And you're not trying to perform for anybody. You're not trying to say all the right things. It's literally just has become who you are. And I want to continue to encourage you to, feel, if someone doesn't feel comfortable, that's on them. That's on them if they're uncomfortable with you being who you are and believing and just staying true to yourself. But continue pushing on, continue staying humble, continue working your butt off, continue being a good friend, husband, teammate, and just striving to be great. Keep fighting for everything, being intentional and grow. And it will be rewarded. It will be rewarded.
Amen.
Good things, I think great things come to the diligent, those that are diligent and continue to pursue honoring God in all they do. But anyways, brother, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Anthony Duruji here for episode 14. Second time guest that is a current player.
Yes, sir.
He says he's getting old at 23 years old. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, folks. I guess. Oh, but do you have another year?
Technically, I do.
I thought so. I thought you did.
Yeah.
We'll see. See how this year ends. If he thinks about coming back, we wouldn't mind having him in the orange for another year. Just saying. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please thank you for listening. Shout out to the Field of 68 Media Network making this possible. Get this out in the airwaves to whomever it may impact. And Gator Nation, stay rowdy.
Yes, sir.